Battlecruisers and ghosts. That's what I've heard about this particular match of StarCraft 2. I haven't seen it yet. It was recently played during HomeStory Cup. I'm very excited to check out exactly what ended up going down, because this is not a Terran versus Zerg, a matchup where we see Battlecruisers quite frequently. It's a Terran versus Protoss. Alright, so spawning right here in the top left-hand corner of Gresven, playing with the blue Terran SCVs from Germany. We're looking inside of the main base of HeroMarine. And his opponent from Canada, playing right here with the red Protoss pieces, he goes by the name of Trigger. Alrighty, so how in the world is HeroMarine gonna pull off Battlecruisers against a Protoss player? Here's the thing about Battlecruisers, man. One of the most popular build orders that Protoss can go for is Blink Stalker, right? So the most successful Protoss versus Terran players in the world right now, I think that would be both MaxSpecs as well as HeroMarine. MaxSpecs and Hero. They are playing Blink Stalker pretty much every single time. They're going Blink Stalker opener every single time, especially on a map like this, when you have a lot of space to blink into the... Well, I guess it's the other side of the map. You have a lot of space to blink into the opponent's main base. Blink Stalker openers are very popular. And when you're trying to rush out Battlecruisers against somebody who's going Blink Stalker, I've got a feeling it's not going to be particularly successful. Now, I haven't seen this game, so there's a very good chance that maybe HeroMarine doesn't transition until, well, much later on into the game. But the problem with that is that if you find yourself up against, well, Protoss aggression at all, making the transition towards multiple Battlecruisers is very, very difficult as well, because they're 400 minerals, 300 gas each. You also have to take into account the cost of the supply depot, right? Not really something that we discuss very often, but 400 minerals, 300 gas for a Battlecruiser, and then on top of that, it also basically takes the entire supply depot's worth. It's a very pricey unit. Now, HeroMarine has decided to proxy the Starport here at the bottom of the map. We've got Hellions coming up right now. This could very well just be a medevac opener here, okay? I wouldn't really mind that either. But we'll have to see what HeroMarine decides to exactly go for here, because this is all a little bit funky. Marines decide to march across the map, and that now opens up the opportunity right here for this Adept to be a bit of a nuisance. Widowmine's on the back of this too, fair enough. Marines are marching forward. Starport here at this point is done, and we're not producing anything out of it just yet, okay. So the Marines are just gonna push forward here. Tech Lab. Oh, I thought it was on, I thought for a second I was gonna be on that Starport. That would be kind of cool. I guess at that point would be a benchy opener. Anyways, Marines march into the main base. Fusion Core is coming up right now, proxied as well on the other side of the map. I think what HeroMarine is trying to do right now is just to reduce the amount of Stalkers that are available. Yeah, just get as much value out of this army as possible and try your very best to buy time to get those Battlecruisers rolling. Okay, so at this point, 2 Stalkers go down, 3 probes for 5 Marines and 2 Hellions. Not necessarily the most effective trade, but I guess what this forces right here, what this triggers, anyways, is a third Nexus. Whenever you clean up units like that, it's very obvious that Terran's not going to be aggressive with their Marines and the Marauders anytime soon. So Trigger may very well just make another Nexus here and call it a day. If this would have been like 4 Gateway Blink or even more gateways than that, although that would be a little bit crazy, he could probably just walk all over this. Here's the Battlecruiser coming up. Yep, HeroMarine playing his opponent like a fiddle here. There is an Adept headed on over in this direction, but I don't think it's really gonna scout all too much. There's the third Nexus. Trigger indeed just on 3 gateways here in total. Blink at this point is done, but he doesn't have a Prism or an Observer or anything like that to get into his opponent's base. So even though this Battlecruiser is still gonna take like half a minute to finish up, it is gonna come out in this game, and it is gonna be very helpful. Okay, so Trigger making the transition right now towards a Robo Bay as well. Of course, Blink Stalkers into Colossi, a very popular strategy. I still am not convinced that Battlecruisers are going to be particularly efficient, and I'm also not entirely sure that, you know, you couldn't achieve the same thing with just Marine. But anyways, I appreciate the effort right here, HeroMarine. So this is, by the way, from a major StarCraft 2 tournament, right? So HeroMarine must truly believe that this is a build order that is worth playing. Anyways, there he is. And there's the second one immediately queued up as well. I think if we're gonna go for multiple Battlecruisers, we should get the weapon refit going here pretty much right away. Anyhow, how many Stalkers do we currently have? We've got only these 4 right now. There's no Prism or anything like that, so he's got to be very careful here. Anyways, the advantage of proxying that Starport on the other side of the map, or, well, at least closer to the side of the Protoss, Ooh, he actually needs to be careful here. Is that you can use the tactical jump defensively. So this unit is just gonna fly into the main base, deal as much damage as possible, and then I guess blink back home to safety? At the very least, that seems to be the plan. Okay, 4 stalkers here available right now, but they're gonna be, yeah, they're gonna be targeted down. I mean, blink is available, but you guys are gonna have to run pretty far away if you want to get out of reach of that battlecruiser. Fair enough. Okay, we did have some stalker movement over there on the minimap. I'm curious to see what he's gonna do. Ooh, there's an observer right over here. He actually decides to blink in a location where the stalkers can't reach it. Okay, he does get it here in the end. Was that worth it? I think it was worth it for the Protoss player, right? I mean, it's honestly a little hard to say. I think that one battlecruiser was probably responsible for what? Yeah, 3 probe kills maybe, and then like 4 stalkers? Something like that. I mean, some of those stalkers went down, of course, to the Marines and the siege tanks, but anyways, at this point, not just blink is finished, we already have charge done here as well for Trigger, so he is ready to start putting down even more pressure on the opponent. Templar Archives coming up as well. The Templar Archives is going to be amazing. There, by the way, is the weapon refit. It's going to be good to get those Archons going, right? A nice tanky unit, because there won't really be that much available for the... Well, I say that. There won't really be that much available for the Terran player to defend at home. While the Battlecruiser is once again going to town inside of the main base. Okay, this is one way to force it back. It's forced to help out at home right now. Yeah, without the Battlecruiser, this sort of army can actually get cleaned up quite nicely, especially with the Protoss reinforcements coming up. Okay, we have a bunker here building as well. Quite a few siege tanks, though, have disappeared. HeroMarine is going to have to get those in a better spot. We don't have the Yamato upgrade done yet, so there's really no way for our Terran player here to get rid of, for example, that Colossus here, right? Like, that would be a really good target. Same for that Prism over there in the background. Siege tank just barely survives this aggression. Of course, though, these units can be repaired back up to full HP as well, and that is much cheaper than actually reproducing the structure in its entirety. Okay, Archon coming up. I kind of like that. So if Trigger wants to continue the aggression, this would be a good way to do it. But if you look right now at the worker count, right, and just the supply count in general, he's got to get something done here. He needs to get more done. He needs to get more done than what he's been getting done so far. He does see the planetary fortress right now on the left side. It's not done yet, so HeroMarine can maybe, yeah, lift it up and get it out of there. Yamato cannon finishing up in about 10 seconds. A little less than that. Okay, I'm assuming we're gonna get rid of that Prism right away. That'd be very big. He actually stopped flying right there with the command center for a bit. Okay, Prism indeed does end up getting sniped. It is the most obvious target right here for the biggest of gapes. 4th command center did not finish. Well, I mean, it finished, but it never finished into a planetary fortress, and because of that, it ended up getting killed. And that's a big, big target right there for Trigger. Okay, so 4th Nexus here at the bottom of the map. We're gonna need to start making some additional probes though, because we only have 59 of them available. I wouldn't mind seeing some more of them coming up right now. Trigger at this point must realize as well that all of those battlecruisers are coming from somewhere. Like, he must realize they're not coming out of the main base right here of the Terran, but maybe it doesn't really matter that much. At this point, Trigger needs to be careful though. He needs to figure out which of these battlecruisers can use tactical jump and which one can't. You know that game with like the ball underneath the cups and you have to figure out where the ball ends up? At this point, I guess Trigger is playing a similar game. He just needs to keep track of which of these battlecruisers has tactical jump and which one does not. Now, he's got an observer here, but yeah, especially after, yeah, when they stack up together like that, it's very difficult to keep track of the shuffling. Anyways, look at the production tab right here for the Terran compared to that of the Protoss. Okay, once again, aggressive blink forward here. Trigger is feeling like he can just clean up most of these units, and you know what? He may just be right. You don't play against mass BC very often, so it's one of those things where you actually have a hard time judging the engagements. Okay, we do have some double Yamato gun available too, and the Colossus will end up going down. Okay, looks like the bunker just barely survives. Man, what a messy engagement here. If HeroMarine can stabilize though, and he can prevent this Stalker shenanigans from just, well, straight up losing him the game, I think he's gonna be in an excellent spot. Like, he's been on a razor's edge the entire time. Yeah, if he ends up losing, for example, that mineral line there, or he ends up losing one of the command centers, that would be an absolute disaster. Another battlecruiser ends up losing its life here. And in the end, I mean, not that many SCVs have fallen yet, though. Oh, we're getting to the point where many of them could go down in like one wipe or one swipe of all of those zealots. Sadly here, one wipe for all of the zealots? That would be an entirely different way to fight. Anyways, 9 of them end up going down. Honestly, much better than nothing. Another battlecruiser here at the bottom of the map now being annoying, but the reinforcing stalkers do show up, and this one doesn't really get anything done. This one is also one that already did tactical jump. That was its very first confirmed kill. War Prism coming in right now. I love the aggression right here, actually, from Trigger. I think I would have loved it a little bit better, though, if he was actually making a few more probes on the back of this, and yeah, maybe have those upgrades going a little bit quicker. So we do have double Forge available right now. That's gonna allow our Protoss to actually get some value out of those stalkers as the game progresses. This is not really the type of game where Terran can very easily get their upgrades going, I don't think. Yeah, so normally we have Marine Marauder into Battlecruisers, I suppose. I mean, quote-unquote, normally. Now we have Battlecruisers into Marine Marauder, which is a bit of a strange game to be playing. So how many Battlecruisers do we actually still have? It's just the one over here. Yeah. So was this early game worthwhile right here for HeroMarine? I would say so. Was it very dangerous, and could it completely have slipped out of his hands? Yes, most definitely. If Trigger would have microed as good as, for example, Max Specs can do sometimes, I mean, I've got a feeling that it would be very difficult to pull off this strat. Anyways, he managed to sneak out another command center here up north, and that is actually really nice. The planetary fortress is going to be difficult to break. HeroMarine stimming forward right here, expecting a 5th Nexus already, but it's not taken yet, so at that point, it's also quite obvious that you can't kill it. By the way, I do appreciate that this guy is properly on vacation now. He's the one in charge of building all this infrastructure. Apparently, he's the commanding officer of the Terran, and now he gets to just, you know, spend his time doing what he loves doing, and that is patrolling back and forth. Finally, I believe. Maybe. No. I was thinking maybe that these structures here at the bottom of the map would be found, but not quite the case. Okay. There's the Dark Shrine coming up. Double upgrades as well. Researching those Stalkers and Zealots. Now finally we have a Ghost Academy coming up too here for HeroMarine, so I like how we rushed up all the way to the highest tier unit, and then we're like, you know what we actually need? Marines. Marines solve a lot of Terran problems. Okay. Disruptors here coming up as well. Disruptors are gonna require a lot of micro. Normally we see Terran players focusing quite a bit on this command center here in the middle of the map. Maybe to a lesser extent in this particular matchup, and I guess HeroMarine was trying to get a little bit lucky, but he did end up getting a 4th base going there, right? And that's honestly the most important part for him right now. Protoss, though, going for another Nexus here on the left side of the map too, which is interesting, because much like HeroMarine already expected, you would really assume that this would be the location right over here. Colossus in a little bit of trouble. I don't think he's going to be able to get that, will he? Oh my god, he blows up. Oh my god, he just... Wait, he lost the Colossus and he blew up one of his own Stalkers. Maybe even more than one. Okay, that actually worked out much better there for HeroMarine than I thought it would. Trigger's still not finding the SCV that's on vacation. Steve the SCV. Don't do it. Don't kill Steve, okay? Whatever you do, Trigger, have a heart. Now, this is deja vu right over here. I feel like I've seen this command center go from the exact same direction earlier too. Though this time around there are ghosts available, and those ghosts are absolutely amazing. Another Viking ends up getting sniped here. Yeah. Or sorry, another Colossus ends up getting sniped by the Vikings. Alright. HeroMarine is now going to stumble on this base, and that is very nice for him to know. Because this may very well be his next line of attack. In a way, they are very close to each other now, so... yeah, it's most obvious that they're going to be focusing their attention on this area. I wouldn't mind therefore seeing Trigger taking one of those Nexi on the right side of the map, because it's unlikely that our... oh my god. Here we go. Ghost Academy's coming up. There's the Tactical Nuke #1 also on the production tab. You love to see it. The only reason to go multiple Ghost Academies is if you want to go multiple nukes. If we can also go back to Battlecruiser production, that would make me a very happy viewer. Ooh, okay. Good Nova over there. A couple of Marines and Marauders in front as well. Not really getting that much done. Okay, there's that Nexus, by the way, on the right side. Good movement here, though, by Trigger. Yeah. Showing us that he is maybe playing against a strategy that he's not very comfortable against, but he definitely knows what he's doing. His economy is not as big, though, as I really would have liked to see. I mean, this is HeroMarine on 80 SCVs right now, and obviously that does not take into account any mules that he could be putting down as well, although at this point, he's saving most of his energy right here for scans, because scans are very helpful. Maybe the Dark Templar can help out a little bit when it comes to evening up the worker count. Because we do have a bunch of them roaming the map, just trying to be annoying. Ghost ends up getting sniped here as well. There is a missile turret building here. Or no, it's actually a sensor tower, so no detection available just yet. The Dark Templar doesn't want to show itself, but it does provide some vision over here, right? For the Terran player. That's so funny, look at that. It's a Dark Templar functioning as an observer. Anyways, Tactical Nuke flying across the map. It is gonna try and nuke this base over here in the bottom. We have another group of Marines and Marauders over here, and this does get spotted, by the way, so Trigger does see what he's playing against. Alright. So, Ghost ends up going down. That's 100 minerals, 100 gas down the drain. The Observer Templar, okay, eventually does go down as well. Marines and Marauders over here, I think they're going to be able to finish that Nexus. I mean, there is a recall. It's not going to finish. Zealots alone, though, will be able to slice up all of those units, or what did I call it earlier? Wipe it up? I think, yeah. They're wiping out that entire... wiping out, that's probably what I was thinking of. Anyways, this time around the Tactical Nuke does not land because the Ghost disappeared, and all we know is that when the Ghost disappears, the nuke is now somewhere around orbit of Gresvan. It's just... I don't know where it goes, man. 2 more guys, though, with their guns on their backs. That can only really mean one thing. Tactical Nuke. Number 3 and 4, I believe. Flying across the map. The first one here of this duo of nukes did get cancelled, but this one over here, okay. Trigger does spot it, and he is going to be able to pull the probes away. Yeah. A little dangerous. Obviously, they're still fighting here at the front as well, so it's super easy for either player here to mess this up and accidentally lose a whole lot of stuff. Although that being said, it's much easier for the Terran player to get damage done here than it is for Protoss to avoid it. Another Ghost Academy coming up. My god, what did HeroMarine have for breakfast? I don't know what they have for breakfast over in Germany. Speck. Speck with iron. Eggs. I don't know what eggs are in probably something like that. Bacon, man. Maybe some potatoes, right? Meat and potatoes is the recipe they've perfected over in Germany. All jokes aside, German meat and potatoes hits differently, man. I don't know what it is, but it's absolutely delicious. Right now, by the way, he finally found out about that starport here in the bottom section of the map. That one's been there for like, I don't know, 16 minutes? Maybe a little less than that. Maybe closer to like 15 or 14, but it doesn't really matter. This starport's been there for ages. The fusion core gets to live. More tactical nukes flying across the map. I have already stopped keeping track. I don't think that this number is actually too accurate, because there are oh my god. There are so many of them flying around. I've been watching a little bit of HeroMarine's stream as well, and he's been talking about how he feels confident against Protoss most of the time. Apparently this is what a man's confidence does to him. We just have mass nukes. Now, have those nukes been worthwhile so far? I would actually say no. They're 100 minerals, 100 gas each. I feel like the majority of them have just gotten sniped. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. The liberation zones are forcing him over here. Okay, he does cancel that nuke just barely in time. That would have been the end for both the probes as well as that army. That could have actually been an absolute disaster there. In the meantime, though, there's a push forward here as well up north. Nice movement here by Trigger. Another planetary fortress may end up going down there. Okay, we do have actually this Nexus still alive. I thought that one would certainly get sniped. We do have a tactical nuke, though. Getting dangerously close to landing. It's that Ghost right over there up north. I do believe that it, yeah, will land, but not really take out that much. In the meantime, though, Trigger is doing an amazing job sniping whatever he can. And a lot of his economy, HeroMarine's economy, actually, just got sniped. Excellent movement here by Trigger. Very lovely work. Hey, we still have the fusion core. I don't know why Trigger hasn't sniped those structures a little bit earlier on. I guess he's been putting out fires left, right, and center throughout this match, but... Okay, this is apparently the moment, though, where he is gonna transition towards a lot more Nexi. Yep, triple Nexus on the production tab. Not really something we see all too often. At the very least, not compared to the times we see triple command center coming up. That is basically every single Terran game. At the very least, it's very common these days. But 3 Nexi building all at once. Okay, we've got a Starport coming up here as well, or a Stargate here for our Protoss. This Nexus got sniped earlier, and I do believe it may end up getting sniped again here in the not too distant future. This is a scary army though. These Protoss units can definitely take out all of this with ease. He's constantly focused, HeroMarine that is, on trying to not lose his army to a Purification Nova. I actually think that Trigger could probably push in there, but he doesn't want to do it with that many Protoss units going down, I guess. Alright, I wonder if we're going to do a full-on Skytools transition, because if we are, we're definitely going to at the very least have to saturate some of these gases. Probably get some more gases going as well. Okay. Love the Liberator transition right now too, by the way. Yeah, he does have the advanced ballistics upgrade done, which is amazing. In the meantime, we do have that push here up north that I was suggesting earlier. That's a bunch of ghosts going down, a whole lot of Marines that are not being microed, Marauders getting sliced up. Reinforcing Terran units will probably push all of this back though in the end, but not a bad trade right there for Trigger. The supply that he's created for himself is now... Ooh, he even gets the orbital. He is gonna spend some of that supply right now on disruptors. Apparently he needs more of those. He's got 5 of them right now. Actually, 4 nukes now currently also available here for Terran. Whenever he likes to use it. Okay. Eventually, this Nexus here might be in some trouble. But I feel like I've been saying that for a while. Yeah, it does still live here for the time being. This is a nuke that would be difficult to stop, but it looks like it already happened. Maybe the photon cannon ended up getting the kill. Nexus here is slowly being destroyed. And now it's just a breath away. Oh, come on. It's literally got 1 health. There you go. Alright, HeroMarine ends up getting sniped, or he ends up getting the kill right there on that Nexus. But I actually don't know if I like this game all too much for him anymore. Trigger's army here is looking a lot better. Now, don't think that blinking into both of the siege units here of the Terran is a great plan. But his economy here is very nice compared to that of the Terran player. His upgrades are great as well compared to the Terran, because HeroMarine has still not fired up 3-3. Something he afforded, or he could have afforded quite a while ago. Here's once again some units coming around the site. They're on move command. Trigger, no! Now that is triggering indeed. I think he just lost like, I don't know, 20 supply worth of units there for basically free. Ends up bowling one of his own units as well. Okay. Marauder there made a flip in the end. Another ghost thinking about nuking, I think, from the low ground. That is a cute move, one that we don't see all too often, and actually something that's difficult to catch. Anyways, HeroMarine wants to fight this while he knows that his opponent is desperately looking for the red dot. Trigger does find it here in the end, though, and... Okay, he sends the probes back in a very dangerous way. But eventually... Okay, this ghost is gonna get killed. How many ghosts have died so far? Yeah, 25. I feel like 20 of them have tried casting a nuke. It's been quite a few of them. HeroMarine did take this base over here at the bottom of the map, which may be very critical. Trigger was just reminded of that angle. Apparently he's like, yo, you can nuke from there? I can actually fight you from there as well. Okay, HeroMarine going for a cheeky little drop. Apparently a Void Ray was produced specifically to deal with those harassing Liberators with range. Very annoying unit to have to deal with, but... Anyways, looks like the tactical nukes for now have been denied. Triple Liberator towards the top right-hand corner as well, and I think that these may very well be triggering that... hey, another one's used triggering again, anyway. He's probably going to be triggering that Void Ray to go up north. It's going to take a while, though, and these bases are going to be denied for quite a bit. That now means that apparently this medevac drop is going to be able to sneak through the defenses here. We have a fight over here in the middle as well. Okay, some really good Purification Novas. Another really good Nova does connect with the majority of that Terran army. There's the Void Ray finally arrived. Nexus here at the 6 o'clock position will get destroyed together with 18 probes, and there's 1 Dark Templar in the main base. Suddenly there's action all over the map. Trigger definitely needs to start spending his money here though, because he's got so much in the bank, but not actually that big of an army. Okay. One of the bases that is normally considered to be the Terrans. One that he's already mined some time ago. is now, well, gonna be harvested by the Protoss. Alright. So killing this base repeatedly, though, does mean that HeroMarine may very well be able to mine it himself. In the end, it would still mean, if all of this settles, that Trigger is gonna have an extra base. And that is very significant. I mean, I don't think the trades have been particularly great for him. Yeah, he's been losing more minerals, but less gas. It's mostly those nukes, I guess, right? And all of those ghosts getting sniped. Yeah, actually very expensive. Those nukes, I mean, they're 100 minerals, 100 gas each, but the ghosts are a lot more expensive than that. Usually they gain value over time. But indeed, HeroMarine, he's not afraid of the probes that have been nibbling away at these minerals for a while. He decides to take the minerals himself. The same thing has already happened here up north as well. Banger of a game here so far. Once again, move command here by our Protoss player. Okay. Ooh, he does punish the Terran pretty hard there. But he ends up losing quite a few of the disruptors. How many disruptors have gone down? 11 only. Yeah, honestly, nothing too bad at all. Going for a planetary here would be sweet. Yeah, very difficult for our Protoss to break, especially with static defense, siege tank, liberators, and all the rest of it. Not really possible here for our... oh, big recall apparently up north. Not really easy for our Protoss player to break that position. This is an expensive set of units to lose, though, here for HeroMarine. Yeah, I think that's a trade that Trigger will be happy to make. With all of these Liberators now, though, we've got 12 of them available already. 3 more are coming up. I wonder if it's time for Trigger to go for a Skystall's transition of his own. Another Tactical Nuke going down on a base that's barely even mining, just to try and create some chaos here. The Liberators are very dangerous, but so far most of them are getting killed here before they really siege up. Really good targeting here and movement by Trigger in general. Lovely work. I wouldn't mind seeing a more dedicated army for sniping all of the Liberators, but 22 of them have already gone down. Okay. The base up north still lives. We're gonna warp in a gateway over here too, apparently, although I'm not entirely sure if we really need that. We've got 12 of them available. Maybe not a terrible idea. Maybe actually having more gateways would not be a bad plan. He's been sitting at quite a bit of cash here for like the last 5 minutes. I mean, he's been maxed out for a lot of it, but I wouldn't mind seeing him max out maybe a little bit quicker. Another ghost on a mission. I'm assuming that this one will also... it's unpowered. I'm assuming that that one will also be sending in a nuke. The planetary fortress I was talking about, double nuke, which look at that, synchronized nuking. Anyways, that planetary fortress I was talking about getting quite a bit of value. Did he notice it was 2 nukes though? Because he did find 1 red dot, but they went off pretty much at the exact same time. Finally, he gets a detonation that gets some value in. I mean, some value. It certainly wasn't amazing. This one is likely not going to happen either because he actually is casting Tactical Nuke on top of a photon cannon. Alright, apparently now HeroMarine is slicing straight through the diagonal of the map with his entire army, trying to see if he can get this Nexus, but this is going to be very expensive. Yes, he gets the Nexus, but he ends up losing a whole lot of units as well. That actually went a bit better than I thought. He's got so many low HP medevacs there. At this point, Trigger is definitely in a fantastic position, though. He can easily remake that Nexus. He should have plenty of minerals to still send those probes to as well. Okay, I think the Stalkers are once again going to blink forward, take down more of those Libs. Mass Liberator is hard to fight for the Protoss player, but if you have them, you know, if you lose like 3 of them here, 3 of them there, it's a whole lot easier here for the Protoss. Bit of a scary fight, but the Terran army really doesn't look that menacing. Plus, it's still at +2/+2, which really doesn't help. We did have a Liberator, I think, attempting to harass that base up north as well for a bit, but Stalkers are ready and waiting. Eventually, though, it looks like Protoss is starting to claw their way through all of these Terran units, and this is becoming incredibly expensive. Here we go, Trigger. Yeah, sending in the Zealots up north. This is wonderful because... there it is. He can snatch all of those reinforcing units as they come out of the Terran's main. And in the end, it's Trigger who obtains the victory in a banger of Terran versus Protoss. Hey, if you enjoyed watching this video, please take the 1 second that it takes to hit the like button down below. It really does help. And if you enjoyed watching this video a lot, you can subscribe as well so you get notified as soon as future videos go live. For now, though, have a great rest of your day. Don't forget to smile. And I'll see you once again in the next one.